What is going on YouTube? PokeLive here, and the Switch 2 has been out for almost 1 month. And as a gamer and a streamer, I have so much that we need to talk about today. I have been enjoying the Switch 2 so much, guys. This console has been truly amazing, but there's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons that we have to talk about. Now, I want to just put it out there that the reason for making this video is 2 reasons. One, maybe you want to see if you're alone on how you've been feeling about some of these things, if others find, the pros and cons to be similar. And also, if you guys weren't able to get your hands on one, it was so chaotic trying to find this bad boy or get it for pre-order, maybe this will help you make a decision on whether or not this console is for you, or if your previous one is good enough. So before we get completely into everything, guys, make sure to drop a like on the video as it helps your tiny channel like myself. I have so much passion for this. I'm going to be completely honest today, brutally honest. So let's get right into it. So I figured, you know what, guys, let's just start with the biggest pro, because that's probably what you guys want to know, and it's graphics. We're going to do a little side by side. On the left here, we have the OLED version, and on the right, we have the Switch 2. Now, if you guys are coming from a Switch Lite or Switch 1, this is going to be the biggest upgrade for the Switch that you can possibly make. If you are coming from the OLED like me, graphics were pretty good, but they've just gotten that much better. We can see side by side, things do just look a lot sharper, especially when you're docked in 4K. It is incredible. And some of our favorite games also got some updates. Load times are a lot quicker, there's less bugs, a lot of things have just been fixed, which we've been waiting for a while, especially like Animal Crossing New Horizons. It is very slow, and I do notice quite a difference with that. So quality wise, we are definitely seeing quite a difference. Now, again, I'm someone where I never really complained about the quality as is, but now having gamed on the 2, and then when I go back and I play on my OLED, I notice a huge difference. So now that we got the biggest pro out of the way, we have to jump right into some cons, because I know you guys want to know, what have I been disliking about the 2? I was so excited for this thing. I mean, I got a case for it. I got the new Pro controller, which we'll do in a separate video. I got so many accessories for my 2 because I was so unbelievably excited for it. But there are some cons, and I don't really hear a lot of people talking about the cosmetic side of it. Basically, some features on the actual console that I don't love. Number 1 is the stand. Now, the Switch 2 in the trailer, they were like hyped about this stand, and don't get me wrong, it does feel pretty sturdy, but I don't love it, and let me tell you why. This is a heavy console. The 2 is very heavy, especially when you are comparing both of these. This is way heavier, and it is a little bit comfortable after a while to game. So what I find myself doing is I will rest a little bit, of that weight in my hands using the stands. And with this one, I just feel like they kind of cheaped out on it in comparison to our OLED, which had a nice solid stand. I liked that better. So that was one thing that I have not been liking about it. I do see it breaking at some point. Kind of leading us into the next thing is the cartridge slot. Now, if you are a physical copy type person, I find myself more in the e-downloads lately. That might work in my favor, because if we take a look at the previous one here, you guys can see it's pretty, it's not the greatest, but it's pretty secured. Now, when we take a look at the 2, I was blown away when I first saw this. I did not expect this. I mean, based on like the trailer and everything, I just didn't expect it. It's really weird, it's flimsy, and I could see it breaking off in the future, and that would really, really, really suck. So those are some cosmetic things that I've been really disliking about it. And also, we have to talk about the fact that this bad boy overheats really, really quickly, especially when docked. It has a fan. They all have had a fan, but my OLED, I don't feel like ever really gets hot. Whereas the 2, we know it's more powerful. It's going to use up more energy, of course, but it gets really, really hot, especially when docked. I've noticed when I stream for many hours at a time, this thing is so hot when I remove it from the dock. I kind of get scared about it, which leads us into possibly the largest problem with the 2 is the battery life. Now, Nintendo came out with a battery fix because they knew that something was up. The percentage wasn't reading correctly, and also they just admitted that this wasn't going to last as long as models like the OLED. When we get improved graphics, we have a better console. I'm not surprised that we're not seeing the battery life, but I did not expect it to be as bad as it is. When I'm playing Mario Kart World, I am getting about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15-20 minutes-ish per gaming session. Now, granted, unless I'm streaming, I don't really game for long hours at a time anymore, but I have been playing this thing so much. I already have 35 hours plus in Mario Kart World, so I wanted to give you guys my honest feedback. The battery's really, really bad. If you're someone where you don't play it docked, this OLED here to me is superior with battery. I have a running joke where if I see this thing die, I've gamed entirely way too long and I need to go do something else. This will last an entire night, whereas our Switch 2, you are going to have to stay near a charger. And I really do think that that's why they put another little charging port on the top here, because that was something that us Switch people complained about like crazy. It is not comfortable to game like this with a cord hanging out of the bottom of it. So they put one on the top, and I think they did this because they knew that the battery was going to be pretty bad, which it is. So that's something that I'm not really enjoying, and it's really frustrating when you're in the middle of something and you have to really worry about where's my charger. I have to go dock it because sometimes I just like to play it on the couch. Now, we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but I love the display on this. I love the size of it. I love that it's just a great graphic. We can really see everything going on. But I will say, as far as gaming long term, it's heavy. It is a big console. It does get pretty hot. You know, comfortability wise, I would have to say probably my OLED would be more comfortable to game on just because it is so light and it really goes the distance. But as far as like full display goes, I already am absolutely obsessed with the display on the 2, and also the controls are really, really, really nice. A lot of people really complained about the previous ones where they slid up, and a lot of the time what would happen is when you game, I would kind of find myself like I'd have to keep pressing them down because they got a little bit loose over the years, which just kind of happens with time, I guess. But I do like the security with the 2 and how they are magnetic. I think it's really, really neat. People have also been saying it's super satisfying to just click them magnetically. I don't know. I just kind of leave my console alone. The less I do with it, the more I feel like it's going to go the distance and hold up. Now, another thing that people felt really strongly about, and I'm going to kind of stay neutral on this specific thing, is that it really lacks customization. It looks the exact same. Now, I'm going to start by saying I like this in the sense of the Switch is meant to be simple gaming. This console is meant to be for everyone, all ages, all tech experience levels, literally everyone. So the simplicity of it is great. We have a light mode and we have a dark mode. Great. Now, for us more advanced tech people, we probably should have gotten some themes, some different colors, some like cool ways to make it look a little bit customized, but we didn't. And I don't know if they're ever really going to give us that because, again, I think the Switch was just meant to be simple gaming. Definitely drop in the comments where you guys stand on that. If you think that we should have gotten more customization features with this, or you're happy with what we saw. It's kind of been a debate all around, and I'm kind of neutral. I would have been happy either way. So here we are. I definitely want to hear from you guys though about that. So I would have to say our biggest pros would be overall, it's just a beautiful console. It is made really, really nice. I love what we're seeing. I cannot wait for us to get more games. I know that Nintendo is doing a crazy summer sale right now, which is awesome because we've just spent so much money on the 2, especially if you got accessories like me. But overall, for the price point of it, that this console was worth a steep $500, probably not. What I would recommend if you are kind of like, you're torn between whether to buy it or not, I would say kind of do what we did similarly with the OLED and wait for the next edition, because we know that we're going to get some type of a spin-off of the 2, whether it's like a Switch 2 Pro or something. We will get a better version that kind of fixes all of these issues that we've seen with it. They're going to make some tweaks. They're going to make the battery better in the next one. So if you can wait a while, I'm guessing it's probably going to be 2 years. It might be worth it, guys. If you have the money to drop on this, it absolutely is gorgeous. But I would say there was nothing wrong with your previous one, especially if none of the new games really appeal to you, because a lot of people complained that for a brand new console, it kind of just came with Mario Kart and that was it. We didn't get anything else with it. But we do have all of these new games coming out soon, which I'm super excited for. The graphics look absolutely crazy, so I'm excited for it. We'll do more talks about the Nintendo Switch. As a streamer here, I just felt like I had to really give myself a lot of time with it to form a solid opinion and say I would have been completely happy with my OLED if I was not a streamer and just an average gamer. I would have been more than happy with it. But for being where I am today, I think the Switch 2 was a great fit for me personally. But just be careful, listen to all of the feedback going on, and really take your time making a decision on whether or not you think it's worth spending all this money on it. Drop in the comments if you got one and you agree with anything I said, if you think that I missed out on a few really big cons or some really big pros on it. Let me know if this helped you decide whether or not to look for it in the future and make the purchase. I want to hear everything from you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next video.